All right, so I'm creating this video because there's somebody in a Facebook group, a cleaning group, asking, how do I know what to charge? It's like, if the software can just tell me what to charge, then I'd be good, because I'm either lowballing or overbidding. I can't find the sweet spot, something to that nature. So I'm going to show you how Clean Proposals can help you get accurate numbers. So first of all, you can add multiple labor types at different rates of pay here. And that's important because you're going to have different rates of pay for different folks, especially as you scale and grow. That's going to be more and more obvious here. And I'll show you that I always have 3 different types of labor that I charge for. The first one's always going to be my frontline workers, which are the custodians. And in this particular case, these are all made up scenarios. In this particular case, it's going to be 2 staff at $15 an hour for 4 hours twice a week, okay? The software then gives you an intuitive price list here, and it shows you the cost per clean. It shows you your annual cost and your monthly charge, or cost, excuse me, not charge, but monthly cost for this particular labor set, okay? The second one that I always do is trainers. Now, if you're not at the size where you can afford to, pay trainers, always charge for training. Our industry is a high turnover industry. And if you have that cost built into every one of your proposals, then you're going to be able to afford trainers at some point in time. You're not going to want to be out in the field doing that yourself. So I always include 3 days at the multiple of the hours for one person. And what I mean by that is I'm going to have at least one of these people turn over twice in a year. That's just going to be an average I'm using. Some people it's quarterly. It depends on the type of contract I find. Some things people stay longer, some things turn over a lot more. So I'm going to at least replace one of these people twice a year on average, okay? And I do 3 days of training. So I'm going to take this 4 hours and I'm going to multiply it by 3, and I'm going to have my 12 hours twice a year, okay? I'm going to pay the trainer a little bit more at $17 an hour versus my custodians at $15. And I'm going to have 12 hours twice a year. Software gives you cost per train in this particular case. And then it gives you your annual labor cost and your monthly labor cost, what you're going to charge per month for that. And then, of course, I have inspectors. Always have inspectors as well, because inspectors are important to go out and give you a quality sample of your business. You're going to need somebody in a building at least once a month to give you a full inspection report, okay? And then down here, I always include cleaning supplies. Typically, it's 3 to 12% of what I'm going to be charging the client. Sometimes it varies. That's why there's a range depending on what type of building that you clean. I always include a technology fee, all right? Because you need to pass the cost of software like this, for example, or if you're using quality control or some kind of bookkeeping software, you always want to pass that cost off to the consumer, okay? So I always add something here, and then I never charge less than 30%. I don't care, just bottom line, I don't charge less than 30%. But let's say I don't think 30% in this particular case is enough because it's only $511. And you think you can make $1,000 on this client. You just type in $1,000 and then the software then tells you what your profit margin is, okay? Some of you live in states where taxes on your service labor need to be included, so you can do that there. If you're not in one of those states, just deselect that and it tells you what to charge per month. Now, some of you are still saying, well, that doesn't tell me what to charge because I still got to guess all this stuff, right? This is where the sweet spot happens. What you need to do here is, after you've entered all the information that you need here, you enter the cleanable square footage. Now, I mentioned cleanable square footage. I'll give you an example. There's a building that I clean. It's 120,000 square feet. It's a warehouse with office space. So I'm only cleaning about 35,000 square feet of that, which is the attached office where all the admin staff and CEOs and all that stuff sit. And the warehouse is just kind of like a production manufacturing site with, concrete, and the employees in there take out their own trash and sweep, things like that. So you need to put the cleanable square footage here. And then the software will tell you, after adding up all your labor costs, your additional expenses, and your profit margins, it will tell you what you're charging per square foot. So what I would do then is get back into these Facebook groups and say, hey, this is my market. This is the type of facility I'm cleaning. What's the average that people are charging per square foot on cleanable square footage? Make sure you put that in there, cleanable square footage. And people will start to tell you. You'll get a general consensus. And if you want to know where you're at competitively, you just simply look at where you're at here. I always like to be on the higher end. So if my market is bearing 12 cents a square foot, I'm going to be at 15 cents a square foot. And I'm going to kill it during the walkthrough. And then when I hit them with a professional proposal like this, because you can choose up to 25 different themes, you have your own logo and tagline. I mean, the software is just stellar. So I'm going to look more professional. My numbers are going to be detailed and accurate. My scope of services are going to be phenomenal. Matter of fact, let me show you what that looks like. You build out square footage in the detailed scope of services in step 1 of this. So all you do is click on the areas that apply. This actually works during the walkthrough. There's an app. So like as you're walking through, you say, oh, there's a break room. You click on it. And if you see another break room, you just count it. All right. These are area stats showing how many rooms you're cleaning, how many have carpet, how many rooms have hard floors, and how many cleaning tasks. Everything is completely customizable. You can take photos and notes, which are automatically organized by area. And then if you click here, it's got every single cleaning task associated with this area, this type of area. So you can bust dishes, you can customize it and change it if you want to. You can save it to a custom task list and use it. You can change the frequency. If you don't like it, just deselect it and it's gone. It's not in your proposal. But it's got a list of memory jogging cleaning tasks here. So you're like, oh yeah, there was a dishwasher in there. I need to do that. Oh yeah, they did want me to dust the blinds. Let me go ahead and click that. Well, I wasn't supposed to do the interior of the microwave. Whatever, you get the point. And then back in finalizing the proposal here, you've got a beautiful proposal that you can choose and look at those exhibits there. And this is what your scope of services will come out looking like. Again, everything's customizable. They have a legal agreement in here. They have, you can add your own additional documentation, upload your own logo, slogan. And like I said, pick from several dozen professionally designed themes. But here you have it. That's how you get accurate numbers. And this is how you send out a great looking proposal.